Players like Dennis Butler, Tony and Barry Wagstaff have had a lot of experience in a higher division. Reading aim to play attractive attacking football, and nobody attacks with greater venom than the number 8 Les Chappell, formerly at Rotherham and Reading's top scorer last season with 25 goals. But the challenge for Reading today obviously is going to be a stern one, because Manchester United have brought with them a powerful team, and by their own high standards, United would not have been satisfied with 8th position in the First Division last season. Now they get this chance to build for greater success. The side has all its famous faces, bar Nobby Stiles, and it's significant too that Dennis Law is back again for them, because for so long Dennis Law has been plagued by a knee injury. He's now fought his way back. This unquestionably is an important day for Dennis Law. It's test match weather for this first game, the crowd obviously thoroughly enjoying that, and now the kickoff.
So a new football season then gets underway. Reading, top scorers in the whole of the Football League with 87 goals last season, getting away against this redoubtable task of facing Manchester United. Williams losing it there to Kidd, and now Morgan for Manchester United. Paul Edwards, the number 2, to Bobby Charlton. His last game was a long way away from Reading, away in Leon in a quarter-final of the World Cup. And there's a beautiful ball from Charlton, but Tony Dunn, in fact it was, who stumbled as he went for it. And so it's a throw now to Manchester United, and George Best with it. Sadler obligingly running into a position for him, and Perrin letting it go for Morgan. It's not going to be easy out there with fairly thick grass, the pitch in beautiful condition, but a temperature, I would think, well into the 70s. Perrin to Edwards. And a challenge there from Williams, which puts the balls into touch again for a throw to Manchester United, and Pat Perrin with it. And Wagstaff doing well to get that one back. Barry Wagstaff back to Stephen Death, the goalkeeper for Reading. Poor kick there by Death, though, straight to Bobby Charlton. And now Dennis Law. How good to see him again in first-team action. He's worked so hard this summer to get over that knee injury of his, but that ball quite easily cut out by the Reading defence. And now it's Williams again to Will Dixon. Dixon in turn leaving it to Tony Wagstaff. Tony Wagstaff again. Chappell well up, and Habin well up as well, and so too is Cumming. And here's Habin, the number 9, only 5'7". Through now to Bell. Can he get a shot in? Habin, and finally Edwards for Manchester United to Bobby Charlton, and away goes Best. But good tackling there by Dixon. He covered very well indeed there for Reading. It really looked as though Best was right through. And perhaps when he sharpens up in First Division football in a month's time or so, he would have been through. Morgan finding Cumming. And Ure to get it away for Manchester United to Tony Dunn. Bobby Charlton. Brian Kidd. And George Best again. Calling for Charlton to come through into a gap. And Charlton's got Law to aim for and Kidd to aim for, and Death getting there, timing it to perfection. Stephen Death, the goalkeeper, who is on loan from West Ham, came to Reading last season and made such an impact that he was voted the most popular player at Elm Park. Morgan to Ure. Perrin. Dunn storming up the left. But instead it's Bobby Charlton, who's been in so much for Manchester United in these opening minutes, and there, giving it straight now to Habin, Dick Habin, the man they got on a free transfer from Cambridge United. Now to Cumming, Gordon Cumming, another free transfer man, this time from Arsenal. And a nice cross there, aimed towards Chappell, getting there well over his head, and Stepney diving at the feet of Reading forwards, risking everything, but getting the ball. Charlton. Of course, two sides here who pride themselves on their ability to attack. And already we've seen that they are both capable of putting in quite useful attacks. Tony Wagstaff to big Stuart Morgan. Habin flipping it there for Chappell, looking for Habin again. You're appealing for offside, and in fact it was given. Now Best. A long ball that finds Morgan. Law. He never really looked as though he would get that wide of Wagstaff, Barry Wagstaff, and Wagstaff finds Williams. Now Habin. Covered by Law and Ure. So back to Williams. Little 1-2 there, Williams right through. Oh, and he tried to do just a little too much. He'd done the difficult work in beating Stepney, but he didn't count on Ure coming up, and here he is again. And United in a fair bit of trouble there as Chappell turns it, and Stepney goes down. With 6 minutes gone, and Reading so very nearly a goal ahead. Gordon coming now. Tony Wagstaff doing good work there. Edwards is there to cover it for Manchester United, but only gets it as far as Butler, a fullback who's come up. But now this may have exposed Reading a little as Morgan takes it up for United. Ferrand is available inside, but Barry Wagstaff covering well, but in fact giving away the free kick. So a free kick then to Manchester United. Morgan to Crerand. Crerand getting it across and low. Ure beating Chappell in the air. There's Chappell, formerly with Rotherham. In fact, he was at Rotherham with his manager Jackie Mansell when Jackie was manager there. Here he is again, number 8, scorer of 25 goals last season for Reading. And a useful ball here that finds Habib. Now Tony Wagstaff. And Wagstaff again, and almost put in there by Cummings. And the number 2, Dixon, was right in the thick of it. And now Butler, both full-backs for Reading, well up in these attacks. And a shot beautifully tipped over there from Williams by Stepney. That really was a fine shot here by Bobby Williams. Calming it down, he says, but I think it's United who are very much on edge at the moment. And that superlative save by Stepney, giving this corner to Reading. And here it comes again, Chappell trying to beat it at the near post. But the angle was too difficult, and vastly relieved, Manchester United get a goal kick. Reading, in fact, who scored 8 goals in their last game here in the 3rd Division last season against Southport when they came so close to winning promotion, showing that sort of form already.
Scoring goals is better than 3.
A free kick now given to Manchester United for the foul on Brian Kidd by Morgan. Morgan now looking after Kidd, keeping close to him as he's been keeping close to Best when Best has been going through the middle. Tony done with it. And in goes Edwards! Paul Edwards, another example of the fullback creeping in. And he really had what was a free header at goal to put Manchester United ahead, 13 minutes gone. That Reading defence just didn't see him.
Well, yet another goal scored from a dead ball movement. There's Tony Dunn there, takes it very sweetly with his left foot, a perfect chip just in the right spot. And Paul Edwards comes flying in, having made up 15 yards of ground, attacking fullback play at its best from a free kick, and heads it just where it should be in the corner of the net. That's a lesson that Reading will have to heed this season.
Scored only one goal last season, Paul Edwards, and already he's equalled that. Ure to Morgan. United fans were queuing outside this ground overnight, and a lot of them, thousands of them, have travelled down from Lancashire and indeed all over Britain. Of course, wherever United play, they get support from all over Britain, and now they must be feeling that that journey was well worthwhile. But now Chappell going through, half stopped by Ure, still bouncing about, and finally Sadler getting it as far as Morgan. Now Creran, very calmly back to his goalkeeper Stepney. Charlton to Sadler. Kidd, watched by Morgan. Charlton and Best have gone into the middle. And Kidd doing very well indeed there for Manchester United. And a fair-looking cross, but straight into the arms of Death, missing Bobby Charlton by a fraction. Tony Wagstaff. Dixon. And Edwards getting in before Havin. The ball's not going out though. And so it's Wagstaff with another chance to curl it across, and Edwards getting this one away. But again, it's Wagstaff for Reading. A nice little flick back there, and a flick through there to Havin! And he's put it in! United appealing for some infringement there, but it's not been given, and that makes it 1-1.
Well, this was a real bit of Brazilian magic from Reading. I think this was a first-class piece of play, which was a pleasure to watch. Just see, as the ball slotted through into the area, there's Les Chappell, who moves to his left, 3 Manchester players round him, and watch this delicate flick off. There it is, flicked off to Cumming, who controls it quickly, very tight space there, slips it across to Dick Havin, who does the rest. There's a brave attempt from Stepney to save it, but the deflection makes no difference because he goes on and makes sure that it's over the line.
Certainly United felt that there was something wrong with that Reading build-up. They had their arms aloft as Havin had the easiest of jobs of finishing it off. So now 1-1 and Creran for Manchester United. A deflection! Oh, and brilliant work in the goal by Death. He probably had that covered fairly comfortably until that deflection. The shot from Creran, number 4, and Death doing supremely well to push that wide. Mr. Tinkler, the referee from Boston, having a word with a policeman at close hand, I would have thought. Something happening in the crowd by that corner flag that he doesn't quite like, but here comes that corner, and Morgan to get it away for Reading. Ure following it in. Oh, and Edwards couldn't control it when he really was in a very promising position. And so it's Stephen Death for Reading, the goalkeeper. So it's Kidd, with Ure making a surprising run down the left. Law screaming for the ball in the middle, but it's Best instead. Best finding Morgan. Going inside Butler. Kidd Plenty of red shirts up there. Law turning it off for Bobby Charlton. And there it goes from Bobby Charlton. The goal's been given, and yet Compton, the train, has been called on. At least my feeling is that the goal's been given, but the ball, I notice, is with Stephen Death.
Well, there's Georgie Best on the ball, who hasn't done much up to now, but that's a great pass out to Morgan on the wing. It gives him the space he needs to take on Butler. And we see the difference between first and third division acceleration. As he moves inside, just leaves him standing. But from then on, it's a good decision by Mr. Tinkler, who after that foul on Kidd, waves his arm and says play on, and gives Bobby Charlton the chance to hammer it in the goal from there. And from that distance, he just doesn't miss.
So Tony Wagstaff for Reading. And of course, having fractionally offside, caught there by United defenders coming forward. Law making ground quickly, but not quickly enough to beat Barry Wagstaff. Cummings alone up there amongst some United defenders, but in fact he's found Chappell, and good work there by Stepney as well from Chappell. What a good run by Chappell though across that United defence. Here he is, the man who scored 25 goals last season. Tony Wagstaff finding Bobby Williams. It's Gordon Cumming. Williams again. And Tony Wagstaff. The pace now beginning to slacken a bit, as you would expect it to, as this sun really takes its toll. It started off at an unbelievably fast pace. But it was quite clear that they couldn't keep it up, and I would think it must be equally clear that substitutes will come on before the end of this game, as Tony Wagstaff puts it across again. Edwards getting it away. Butler trying to follow it in, but Willie Morgan finding Dennis Law. Willie Morgan to Bobby Charlton. Morgan to Kidd. That was aimed towards Crerand. Oh, and there was quite a crunch there between Stuart Morgan, who really is a most uncompromising defender, and Paul Edwards. And in fact, the referee, Ray Tinkler, having a word with Stuart Morgan, and I must say some of his tackling has been a little on the crude side. Pat Crerand then with the kick for Manchester United. Aim towards Law, Death coming out of his goal with his fist. Best, just past. Squeals in the crowd as that ball fell to Best, but he didn't catch it properly. And in fact, as yet, we've only seen just a few flashes of Best. Wagstaff looking for Habin, and Muir should get there first. Prepare to let it go over for a goal kick to Manchester United. Edwards to Crerand. To Bobby Charlton. And Crerand again. A little flick that finds Morgan. Oh, Morgan did well there. Kidd! Oh, good work by Death! Oh, what a fine piece of goalkeeping. A marvellous little flick by Kidd, and Death was always equal to it. That's got the Reading crowd cheering as Williams brings it up again for them. Stopped by Bobby Charlton. Farrell. And now Law. United looking menacing as a fair number of red shirts coming forward. Here's Best with a little toe-ender, and again Death goes down well. And how good for Manchester United to see Law right in there at the death, as he so often is. No pun intended. But this is one of Law's tremendous abilities to get in and take those little rebounds, and he was right there waiting for it. Now it's coming. And Stepney. Pat Crowell. Oh, look at that ball for Best. And Death again, taking no chances, using his fists. No wonder this fellow Death was most popular player in Reading last season. Charlton. And Law. And there's the flag. Has it gone up yet? Well, I think the whistle must have gone. I didn't hear it. And the linesman, in fact, pulled him up long before Dennis put that ball into the net. Chappell to Habib. Williams making ground down the left for him. Chappell again, very tight in there. Williams trying one just high. They work well for each other, Reading, because Williams had the chance to put that ball to Butler, who was steaming up on the left, and acted a little bit as a decoy, gave him just that little bit of room to try a shot of his own. Now it's Stepney then with a goal kick for Manchester United. It really is easy to see how it was that Reading came so close to promotion last season. So much credit to them this afternoon for the exhilarating game that we're seeing here at Elm Park. 2-1 down are Reading, but still very much in this game. Now Bobby Charlton. To Edwards, Law calling for it and getting it there. Now if he can pull it back, he's got Best and Kidd waiting, and Edwards as well, and Bobby Charlton to curl one. Oh, to really hit one. And Barry Wagstaff is going to have some sort of a headache tomorrow. Although, as I say, Reading still in this game, it's ominous the way that Manchester United are coming forward in such strength now, and here's Law, but he couldn't quite control it, and it's a goal kick. Law, who's worked so hard all this summer to get fit for this season, after a really agonising knee injury that has done so much to upset him over the years. Oh, what a poor kick, straight to Bobby Charlton, and Charlton will oblige with a shot, and a goal by Bobby Charlton.
Well, that silly mistake may well have cost Reading the game. That wasn't a very good free kick there from Death, and Bobby Charlton needs no more invitation to score a goal than that, and defenders falling away from him as he bobbles a shot into the far corner of the net. It's still good enough to beat Death, but the defenders should have come for him when they saw him in that dangerous position.
I notice that Dennis Law is almost setting a new style in football strip. He's got his shirt half. Oh no, he's now pulled it down. He was getting a bit of air to his ribs, I think. It really must be frighteningly hot out there now. In fact, with Bobby Charlton on the ball at the moment, it really must be Mexican weather all over again for him as Tony Dunn goes down the left. Watch Mike Cumming has come back to look at him. Sadler's going to have a struggle getting to that one first. And there goes the whistle for half-time, and an exhilarating first half it's been, with Manchester United leading by 3-1 against Reading. Reading 1, Manchester United 3, with Bobby Charlton having scored 2 of those Manchester United goals. So a fine first half, and every possibility with the way these two sides are playing such attractive attacking football that we should have a second half that will equal it. So that's the half-time situation. We'll be back for the second half in just a couple of minutes from now. So where we go now for the second half, with Manchester United leading by 3-1. Kidd straight away trying to make that one 4. But well stopped there by Will Dixon. Williams again for Reading. Bobby Charlton to George Best. Trying to go outside Dixon and doing it. Screwing it across, and Law putting it in, but the linesman had his flag up. The linesman has got his flag up on the far side, and so it's no goal. And he had his flag up as soon as Law struck that ball. Sadler beating Habin. Now coming. Wagstaff. Tony Wagstaff finding that United defence obligingly opening up ahead of him, coming, putting it back in again. You're in trouble. Coming again. And Sadler very coolly getting it out to Bobby Charlton. Law. Kidd is completely free over on the left. Playing a nice 1-2 there. All the acceleration in the world there from Dennis Law. But he couldn't quite get past those two Reading defenders. But did enough to get a corner and show that there is so much of that Law fitness is right back again. Really was a very speedy 1-2 that he played there with George Best. And here's Willie Morgan. Oh, down goes Death by that near post, and United looking very good indeed at the moment. Williams calling for Chappell to go inside Dunn, but Chappell is staying out on the wing. So it's Williams again to Tony Wagstaff. A nice little chip there by Wagstaff, just a little too high though. The Reading idea was such a good one. Aimed at that far post there, obviously for Chappell. But here's Stepney now. Will Dixon. You're struggling to get ahead to that ball, and finally succeeds, and it's Sadler bringing it away and switching it now to Law. Crerand. Not too many defenders back, and Law making a tremendous burst through. Now to Best. Men closing in on Best though. They know they've got to do that fairly quickly. Best in turn finding Crerand. Can he get a shot? Turning it back again, and Death clutching that beautifully above his head. Another fine piece of goalkeeping by this young player. And Tony Wagstaff now for Reading. Slipping Edwards. Now Williams. Chappell looking for it at the far side, getting a hit to it, coming! Oh yes! Beautifully manufactured goal.
Once again, from our camera behind the goal, we see the cleverness of this Reading forward line. First of all, a dummy from Wagstaff, who pretends to play it to the left, catches everyone out by slipping it to the right, and now Bobby Williams takes over and executes this beautiful chip. Just watch how quickly the ball rises. He slides his foot under it, and that's just the height to give a goalkeeper no chance. But it's the power of Chappell's header beating Muir surprisingly in the air that makes it easy for Cumming to finish the goal off and slap it in the back of the net past a startled step.
But it really was a beautifully designed little goal there by Reading. All credit again to them for that. They played some very attractive football this afternoon, and now here's Bobby Charlton. Dunn going on. Challenged by Cumming. Kidd looking to get ahead to it. But he couldn't get the power. Bell. Habin. Bell to Williams. Williams a little flick on, another little flick on, and Chappell is always lurking, but a little too far for him. And he was offside in any case. Bobby Charlton. Kidd going on. Dixon there with him. Kidd still looking to get a shot in. Down he goes, asking for a penalty and smacking the ground when referee Ray Tinkler says no. Tony Wagstaff. Sharp telling somebody to, Williams it is, to go down the right. He's coming, and now it's Williams. Looking at the far side for Chappell to go in. Yard headed away, and in it goes by Sharp. No, offside. Offside was given, no goal. We come now into the last minute of the game. And Reading still tantalisingly so close to Manchester United, still this goal down at 3-2. Free kick to Manchester United, and Sadler to take it. Kidd getting ahead to it, no direction, a little power, and a goal kick to Reading. Chappell trying to get above it to get above Ure. Handball given. And so a free kick then to Manchester United. Law with his boot off. It's incredible how often it seems that Dennis Law's boot comes off in the course of a season. But now Kidd. Down he goes. And a free kick given. Right on the edge of that penalty area. Well, we had a goal in the last minute of the first half. A dangerous situation here for Reading, and it might even mean that we have a goal in the last minute of the second half as well. There's the four-man Reading wall. And Best to put it to Bobby Charlton. Oh, and Law missing a chance. Perhaps if he'd had two boots on, he might have gone on a little better. But Law certainly wouldn't have been very happy at missing a chance like that. Morgan to Sharp. Sharp going on, they'll have to come to him fairly soon. And now Williams to curl one again into that Manchester United penalty area. Will it go through? Chappell with a shot. Oh, what a save by Stepney. In the very last seconds, a goal there would have made it 3-3. And that really was the save of the match from Alex Stepney. Dixon getting a little bit of assistance from the trainer. And John Fitzpatrick coming on for Manchester United in the last few seconds of this game. Dennis Law has gone off. Well, there seems to be great confusion. Number 12, in fact, is Nick Murphy, so the loudspeaker has just said. So if there's a certain amount of confusion over the Reading substitutes, there is no confusion at all over the score, which is 3-2 to Manchester United. And there was no confusion whatsoever in Stepney's mind when he brought off that beautiful save that brings about this corner, headed away by Best. Coming, putting it towards the near post, Stepney reaching, and this time gathering safely and cleanly. Morgan to Charlton. Willie Morgan. And Fitzpatrick in the thick of it, been scoring goals in practice. Ferrand to Bobby Charlton. And there goes the final whistle, which puts Manchester United into a Wednesday night semi-final of the Watney Cup. Having beaten Reading with 2 goals by this man, Bobby Charlton, 2 goals in the first half by Charlton, with United leading by 3 goals to 2. Goals by Charlton 2 and Edwards, with Habin and Cumming having replied very bravely indeed for Reading. So an exhilarating first match of the season, with a final score that reads Reading 2, Manchester United 3.